Hola, Courtney. Let's review for this final exam. I hope this video helps. Let me share my screen. Okay, so this final exam is going to be about lessons 1 through 5, and you're going to have to learn, well, have to utilize your writing skills, your listening skills, most importantly. So you're going to have to answer these personal questions, which we'll go over together. And also you'll need to brush up on your vocabulary for your listening, because for your listening and your writing. But just review some of your vocabulary. This is going to be cumulative, and you're going to have to listen to the audio and indicate if the statements are true or false. Also, you're going to have to you're most likely going to be given a paragraph, and you're going to have to answer questions about it. And whenever you do this, Courtney, I know it can be overwhelming when you're giving like a whole paragraph in Spanish, but my recommendation is that you read it. You read it sentence by sentence. And after you just literally take word by word. And once you've done that whole sentence, ask yourself, okay, so what is this trying to tell me? So then you can kind of get the gist of what this paragraph is all about. So the kickstart, we have these interrogative words. Interrogative words, these are question words that we use every day in Spanish. Let's start off, we can start off down here. So how many, quién es, well, how many, trying to see how she has this. English is who. Oops. Spanish is Spanish. English, Spanish, English. Okay, so we can start. Let's start on this side. Como. Como means how. Like, and you'll notice, like we have like, ¿cómo estás? How are you? Means how or what? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué, when it is together, means because. Why do you like to run? Because I'm athletic. And remember, for that, we would use the sir, because this is a, a description about yourself. It is something that you kind of identify with. Like, you're athletic. It's part of your characteristic traits. Okay, we have cuál. Cuál means which. ¿Cuáles is just the plural version of cuáles. You would be like, which ones? Okay. For example, which of these are yours? Or which of these are hers? ¿Cuáles, or cuáles, which of these are, son, hers? De means from, ella. ¿Cuáles son de ella? ¿Cuáles de estos zapatos? Which of these shoes are hers? We also have, see, we can move this out the way. We also have a quién, to whom. To whom are you going to bring to the dance? Or to whom are you related to? To whom are to whom is your sister? How many? How much? Okay. That needs to look a little weird. We have a dónde. A dónde means like where to? Like where are you going? Where to are you going? ¿A dónde vas? ¿A dónde vas? Like where are you going? I'm gonna underline these so you don't get confused. ¿De dónde? From where? De means from. ¿Dónde means where? From where are you from? ¿Dónde es? It can be de dónde es, de dónde son, de dónde somos. Like when you're asking where is someone from, you're gonna use de dónde. Almost at Winston-Salem. We're from Winston-Salem. Okay, so we have quién es. This is another way to say who, but plural. Well, excuse me. ¿Quién es means whose. ¿Quién means who. So we have ¿quién es? Or quién versus ¿quién es? Which means whose. So who is she? Or who is the director? ¿Quién es el director? Whose books are these? ¿Quiénes son estos libros? ¿A quién means to whom? We said earlier. The underline. Okay. So we have, here we go. This chart, it's just a little different. So how or what? Yeah. ¿Por qué? Means why. We're looking at this chart, which leads down to here, Courtney. So ¿por qué? Means because, or it can be why. Also mean like why. ¿Por qué? But why? Like why? How much? That'd be cuántos. How much or how many or cuántos? I don't know why it's like that. How much or how many? That should be cuántos. So basically, I think I think it would have helped if I wrote it like this. So we have, actually let's look up the things that would help us out. So I'll just write it for you. Okay. ¿Quién es? ¿Por qué? ¿Cuál? ¿Cuáles? ¿Cuáles? ¿A dónde? ¿Dónde? Okay. So, okay, that means what? Sometimes it can mean who, but most of the time it means what. Quién is usually used to say who, singular. ¿Quiénes? That means whose. ¿Por qué? That means because. Porque separated, that means why. Like why? And it's always used as a question. This is like because dot dot dot. Why? Porque separated is a question. ¿Por qué? ¿Cuál? Means which. ¿Cuáles are like which ones? It's just the plural form of which. ¿A dónde? A, to, ¿dónde? To where? Or like where to? Where to? Hi, sister. I'm doing a video recording for Courtney.
Okay, I was just not done.
Bless your heart. I bet it was you had a long day. That class. Oh no. Oh, how did you all do? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all.
These players was much better than
I can't wait to wear mine. Well, Jade, I will call you back.
what? Okay.
But let's get dinner because I'm getting hungry soon. Okay, ciao. Hey, Courtney, to continue. So de donde means from where. ¿Cuántos means how much or how many. Okay, for example, how many students are in the class? That would be ¿cuántos estudiantes hay en la clase? Okay, so those are your interrogative words. I find it easier, Courtney, instead of looking at this list, to just check out this list that I made. Okay, let's continue. So, do not forget, Courtney, that whenever you have to conjugate verbs, ARE or IR, these are our endings. O, as, amos, an. O, es, e. Hemos, en. IR verbs. O, es, e. Imos, n. The only difference between the ER and the IR is that the nosotros form of the IR has imos. And do not forget about our stem changing verbs. Chapter 4 should have all the stem changing verbs that you were introduced to. So chapter 4 vocabulary is probably the most important, but don't forget, so when it comes to stem changing verbs, we either have an E to IE, O to UE, and E to I. So there are three different forms. E to IE, E to I, E. Sorry, I just did that. E to I, O to UE. And always forget that you never stem change the nosotros form. So, for example, if we zoom in here, and AR, ER, and IR verbs, they all have these stem changings, except for the IR. The IR verbs, they usually have they only have the E to I. All the other ones, they all share them. So E to IE, for example, we have pensar, which means to think. So we see how we conjugate the stem. So to find the stem, you basically put your finger over the AR ending or the ending, and you find where is the letter E, or where is that vowel at? We see it's right here. So pensar, to think, if we conjugate it as pienso, piensas, piensa, pensamos, because we do not conjugate the nosotros form. Piensan, okay? Then we got our O to UEs. Volar means to fly. We go to that ending, the AR, put our finger over it, and we ask ourselves, where is that vowel located? It's located right here. So it's vuelvo, vuelas, vuela, volamos, vuelan. Some more. All of these verbs are in chapter 4, so this is a good chart. E to I. Let's do one of those. So we have pedir, pedir. Pretty please give me a pedophore. I think that's how I remembered mine. To ask. Let's see. So we cover up the ending and then we look for the vowel. It's right here. So it would be E to I. Pido, pides, pide, pedimos, piden. And then don't forget, we also learned overall, we learned about the go verbs. A lot of these, they have irregular go forms. So we have our go verbs like hacer, algo. That list that I had you do the last time we met was very useful. Let's see, just trying to act up. Oír. Oír means to hear or to listen. Goes to oigo. Let's see. I wonder if I can. There we go. We also got poner, which means to put, and it is pongo. We got, what other goes we got? Some words that aren't on here. We got traer. Traer means to bring. In the go form, the go-yo version would be traigo. Yo traigo. All the rest of them are traes, trae, traemos, traen, trajen. So just brush up on your vocab, but this is just an overview of Spanish stem changing verbs. Okay, we got chapter 1. Let's this is the vocabulary. Check that out. These questions are helpful. Okay, let's continue. So these are the questions you're gonna have to answer. I recommend if you want to type them on this doc, I would, but I would also write them down because practicing writing in Spanish helps you with memorization. So the next time you see this on this exam, you'll remember kind of what you already said because you wrote it down. Okay. Whenever we're looking at questions and we have to answer them, let's figure out where is that verb located. So we have, ¿Cómo se llaman tus padres? Well, the verb is llaman. Okay. And we know that whenever we are given a response in Spanish, we need to use that verb. We don't want to copy what this entire sentence. But many a times the question allows us to answer it properly. That's what we're doing. So, ¿cómo se llaman sus padres? Llaman is that verb. We know that we're gonna have to use that. Okay. Mis padres, my parents. And this question is asking, what are your parents called? What are their AKA? What are their names? Mis padres se llaman Nikki y Pedro. These are just examples, but feel free to fill in your own. Courtney. Okay, we got ¿Cómo estás hoy? How are you today? Well, we know that the verb that we're gonna have to respond is the verb estar, and we can't say yo estás. Remember, that does not work. Remember the endings. We know we have to end and we have to follow these rules for the endings. So we can't say yo estás. It's gonna have to be, remember how to conjugate star. It would be it's yo estoy muy bien. I'm very well. I'm happy. Estoy muy feliz. I'm tired. Estoy cansado. Estoy, are you upset or angry? Estoy muy mal. So you have options. ¿De dónde es tu familia? Okay, where's your family from? Well, we know we're gonna have to use the verb that we have in the sentence. So it's es, that is sir. So remember, sir, its conjugate is yo soy, tú eres, usted, él, ella es, nosotros somos, vosotros, you don't need to know, but ustedes, ellos, ellas son. So my family, it's singular, mi familia es. Mi familia es de, my family is from Guatemala. ¿Cuántos años tiene tu compañero de habitación? This question is asking you cuántos, how many years does your roommate have? Well, we know that the verb is tener, and we have to use that in our response. So we would say, whenever, also most of the time, if the question is addressing the two form, aka the you or your, just pay attention to that. You don't want to get too caught up in messing up what is the question asking or who is it referring to. And this question is referring to your roommate. So, how old is your roommate? Mi compañero de habitación tiene 19 años. Also, whenever you're talking about years in Spanish or someone's age, you always use the verb tener. Ok, continuamos. ¿A qué hora es tu primera clase? At what time is your first class? Well, let's let's think. For me, my first class is at 7:50. That's what I want to say. So, mi primera clase is a las a las 8:10. Whenever you're telling time in Spanish, if the time is past the 30-minute mark, like 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, you have to look ahead to the next hour and subtract how many minutes you have left. So if it's a 7:50 class, we look ahead to the next hour, which is 8, and we subtract how many minutes we have left, which is just 10. So that's how I got that response. Okay. ¿A qué hora es ahora? What time is now? What's the time now? Well, what time is it? It is 6:09. Is 6. You can say de la tarde, in the afternoon, at night, noche, de la mañana, in the morning. Those are some of your vocabulary words. In the morning, at night, in the afternoon. Very useful. Okay, ¿cuál es el apellido de tu madre? ¿Cuál es el apellido de tu... you should probably just redid that. El apellido means last name. So the last name of my mom is, we'll just do, el apellido de mi madre es okay. ¿Cuántos estudiantes hay en tu clase de español? How many students are there in your Spanish class? Well, we want to say, well, first, let's identify what is this, where's the verb? Okay, it's I from the verb haber. So we want to say there is or there are. Hay 13 estudiantes. Period. Okay. ¿De dónde es tu profesor de español? ¿Profesor o profesora? Well, mi profesor es de Argentina. Remember, like I said, pay attention to the subject of the question. It's you, tu profesor. So you don't want to have to respond, tu profesor es de Argentina. You want to make sure you're saying it's my professor. Mi profesor. Mi profesor de español es de Argentina. Okay. What's the next question? ¿Cuántas pizarras hay en la clase de español? Okay, you gotta know what is a pizarra. That means whiteboards. How many whiteboards are there in your Spanish class? Well, we want to say there is or there are. We have to use the verb haber, but we use it I. There are 10 pizarras. Okay, let's look at some of these. And I'm gonna may not respond to every single one, but we'll pick out the most important ones and I'll type my response. Lección 2. This chapter is pretty important. You have the verbs. I think honestly some of the most important parts of the vocabulary chapters are the verbs. Really pay attention to the verbs like practicar, preguntar, preparar, cantar, cenar, contestar, desayunar, to have breakfast. Like these are basics. These are very important as well. So now let's look at these questions. Um, okay, so we have some of these like subjects like arte, biología, ciencias, español, física, historia, inglés, las humanidades, las lenguas extranjeras, literatura, matemáticas, psicología, sociología. So we need to use those to answer this question. ¿Qué estudias? So like this is like someone asking like what's your major? What's your minor? Like what are you studying? So it would be like so our verb is estudiar, and we need to use it in the yo form. So it would be estudio. What do you study? Estudio biología or dot 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 dot. Whatever you want to say. Okay, let's look at this. ¿Cuántas clases tomas este semestre? ¿Qué clases tomas? Okay, there's a difference. ¿Cuántas? How many? This means how much or how many. In this context is how many classes are you taking this semester and what are those classes? So we would respond, okay, the verb in the sentence is tomar. We need to use it in the yo form. Yo tomo. I'm taking cuatro clases. Classes. Classes. Okay, ¿qué clases tomas? The and you can kind of combine your response to both of those questions. So I'm taking 4 classes about or de biología, matemáticas, español y español y arte. Eh, hold that. Okay, ¿te gustan tus clases este semestre? ¿Por qué? I will respond to this question because it's referring to you. Sí, me gustan mis clases este semestre. ¿Por qué? Because, let's say, because they're fun. Because they are different. Remember we said that por qué versus por qué. That por qué separated means why. Por qué together means because. And you need to know that because you're going to be answering a lot of questions, most likely using this form of por qué. I like them because they're fun. ¿Cuántas lenguas hablas? This is asking how many languages do you speak? Well, I speak dos. ¿A dónde prefieres estudiar cuando tienes un examen? Well, let's see. The verb we have is prefieres, and estudiar is not the conjugated verb. We're looking at the conjugated verb. So prefieres is to prefer. Where do you prefer to study? I would answer prefiero estudiar en mi dormitorio. ¿Necesitas estudiar mucho para tu clase de español? Sí. It's asking you, do you need to study a lot for your Spanish for your Spanish class? Sí. Yo necesito estudiar cada día. Cada día means each day. ¿Miras mucha televisión? ¿Cuál es tu programa más favorito? Sí or no. Sí or no. If you said no, then the response would be no tengo una programa favorito. But if you said yes, okay, let's continue. ¿A qué hora desayunas? It's asking you what time do you eat breakfast? You can say the verb that's conjugated in this question is desayunas. That comes from the verb desayunar, which means to eat breakfast. So I would say desayuno a las 8. I eat at 8. Or no desayuno. I do not eat breakfast. ¿Conversas mucho con tus compañeros de clase? Okay, it's asking you, do you conversate a lot with your classmates? And you can say, sí, yo converso mucho con con mis compañeros. O no, no converso muchísimo. Ok, ¿a qué hora regresas a tu casa cuando vas a las fiestas? This one's an interesting question. It's asking you, at what time regresar means to return, or what time do you return to your home when you go out to party? So again, let's find what is the conjugated verb. We have regresar is our conjugated verb. That's the word we're going to need to use to reply. So it would be regreso. Regreso. Let's say you go out at 10. Regreso a las 1. A la 1. Una. La 1. De la mañana. You must specify what time of the day. Okay, chapter 3 vocab. This is all about basically like la familia, you know, your connections with other people. the names of other people, nacionalidades, and other very important verbs. And yeah, let's see. ¿Recibes muchos mensajes de texto todos los días? You would either spite sí or no. But I think it's C for you, Courtney. And then we use the verb that's conjugated, which is the recibir. ¿Cómo son tus padres? Personalidad y físicamente. Well, this question is how, like, describe your parents, basically. Like, this one will require you to understand your connections. Like, mi madre. It requires you to describe her. Like, mi madre es baja. Es baja is short, but baja, cómica, inteligente. You can say the same for your dad. But you use different characteristics, but the same setup. Mi padre es alta, él es serio, serious. Mi padre es delgada, skinny. Okay, ¿cuál es tu pariente favorito? Well, it's asking you, what is your favorite parent? Or who is your favorite parent? For me, it would be my mom, hands down. So I would respond to that question like, mi madre es mi pariente favorito. Mi padre. Continue. ¿Cuáles son los apellidos de tus abuelos? What are the last names of your grandparents? Okay. The verb in use is son. So we will use that in our response. So, los apellidos de mis abuelos son, it could be Yarrow for you. For me, it's Alston or Dalton or Hickman. Okay, next question. ¿Cómo eres físicamente? Menciona dos. ¿Cómo es tu personalidad? Okay, this is asking you to talk about yourself. How are you physically? I would just, how do you describe yourself? For me, I would be like, soy baja, soy baja, um, soy, soy baja, um, baja, y tengo pelo negra. I have black hair. How are you? What's your personality? Um, soy cómica, funny, soy, soy, soy feliz, or nice, simpática. I'm nice. ¿Cuántos años tienes? We gotta use the verb tener. Be tengo, años. ¿Quién es tu profesor favorito? ¿Por qué? Señor, dot, 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 es mi profesor. ¿Por qué? Es simpático. You fill it in. So we have señor or señora is, um, is, es mi profesor o profesora más favorito porque es simpático, porque ella me causa sonreír, to laugh, or ella or él is honesto. He's honest. ¿Dónde vives? ¿Con quién vives? This is asking you, where do you live? Who do you live with? ¿Con quién? With who do you live with? I would be like, yo vivo or vivo in Wilson con mi amiga. Okay. ¿Qué tienes que estudiar hoy? Well, it's asking you, what do you have to study today? Tengo que, I have to. And whenever you have tener que plus an infinitive, this is the setup for you trying to say, I have to do this. Like tener que estudiar, tener que nadar, I have to swim, tener que practicar, I have to practice. This is the setup. Estudiar, I have to study. Música. Okay. ¿Cuándo vienes a la clase de español? It's asking you, when do you go to your Spanish class? Okay. Venir. Vengo. Vengo a las. Oops. It use the verb. Let me confirm that that's the. Yeah, that is correct. Vengo. Venir is a go verb. Or and it means to arrive. Or like to go. Okay, lección cuatro. This is really the chapter to beat. Like the vocabulary is so important, especially the verbs. The verbs we have, all of these, a lot of these are stem changing. So we have almorzar, cerrar, comenzar, cantar, dormir, empezar. All of these are so important. And I really look over this chapter. Okay, ¿cuáles son tus pasatiempos favoritos? Like, what do you like to do in your free time? Like, what are your like hobbies, your favorite hobbies? I would say mis pasatiempos incluyen and you know what? You can show off that you understand how to respond by not following the same setup as the question. You can say mis pasatiempos incluyen. They include dot dot dot, or they or son dot 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 dot, and you list them. Like me gusta andar en patineta. Me gusta, me gusta, me gusta Escalar montañas. For me, me gusta pintar. For me, it's painting and drawing. ¿Prefieres ir al cine o ver películas en tu casa? ¿Y por qué? For me, it's watching movies in my dorm because I like to be alone. I like to enjoy it and talk out loud, which can be annoying if I go into the movie theater. So it would be prefiero, and you say which one, porque es más divertido. Because it's more fun. You choose which one, you put it there. Okay, ¿a qué hora sales de tu clase de español? Okay, sales. This verb is from the verb salir, which means to leave. So at what time do you leave your Spanish class? We have to use that word whenever we're responding. And do remember that salir is one of those go verbs. Salgo a las 1:45. 1:55. Okay, but for you, you would write your time. ¿Haces mucha tarea los fines de semana? Do you do a lot of homework on the weekends? Sí. Or no. No hago. Hacer is another important go verb. Go verbs are verbs that basically have end in go only in the first person yo form, which is I. No, I don't. ¿Oyes música en tu dormitorio? ¿Qué música te gusta escuchar? I'd be like a sí, sí, or no. But maybe if you said yes, sí is school. Oh, it's asking you, do you hear music in your dorm? What music do you like to listen to? Sí or no? Hoy, yo música. Okay. ¿Vas a ir a una fiesta del sábado por la noche? Are you going to go to are you gonna go to a party on Saturday at night? Yes or no? Sí or no. ¿Qué haces en tus ratos libres? What do you do in your free time? Me gusta ver películas. Me gusta dibujar. Me gusta pasear. For you, me gusta pasear un rato con mis amigas. ¿Qué lugares prefieres visitar cuando viajas? Prefiero visitar. It's asking what places. Prefiero visitar los museos or gimnasios or estadios, stadiums or gyms or restaurantes. ¿A dónde vas a almorzar el domingo? Where do you go to eat lunch on Sundays? Voy al café. ¿A qué hora piensas volver a tu casa hoy? At what time do you think you return to your home today? After a long day? Okay. Pienso, or excuse me, you can use volver, verbo. Hey, our final one, we have some important verbs. But let's see. ¿Cuáles son los meses del otoño? This is asking, what are the fall months? Incluyen, I think they include August, agosto, septiembre, octubre. ¿Qué tiempo hace en la primavera? How's the weather in the springtime? Hace viento, hace, hace sol, hace, hace calor, calor. It's hot. ¿Cuáles son, or cuál es la fecha de tu cumpleaños? It's asking you, what is your birthday? Okay. To say that, or any date, you follow this format. Es el, put the day, the date, and here, then you put the month, comma, then you put the year. Es el, okay, what is today's date? ¿Qué estación es? What's today's date? You follow the same format, and then we're asking what season we're in. Well, we're in winter, okay? And and that's what you would say. You would say we're in winter. Okay, then ¿qué tiempo hace hoy? What's the weather like today? Do you like it? Hace calor, hace frío, frío, hace viento, dot, dot, dot. Or you can even say, hace nublado. It was a little cloudy today. And do you like this weather? ¿Te gusta? Okay. ¿Viaja mucho tú y tus amigos a dónde? ¿Qué medio de transporte prefiere usar? If you need to say like, sí, viajamos. So it would be we, because it's talking about you and your friends. Okay. You just say sí or no. O no viajamos muchísimo or mucho. ¿Cómo estás hoy? I am. ¿Dónde? Oh yeah, estoy please empty. Estoy mal, mal, estoy triste, estoy genial, which means wonderful. ¿Dónde está tu familia? So it's asking, where's your family from? Okay, last question. En el verano, ¿a dónde vas de vacaciones? ¿Qué haces? It's asking you like, where do you go on vacation during the summer? What do you do here? So we know it's using like the conjugated verb vas or ir, and that's what we're gonna use. Okay, ¿qué haces allí? We're gonna need to use the verb hacer, which means to do, to respond to it. And remember, hacer is a go verb. Ir de compras. I go shopping. Um, I eat a lot of delicious food in the restaurants, or you spend time with friends. So, Courtney, I'm sorry this video is a bit long. Feel free to just kind of keep it rolling, come back, stop, whatever helps. But I hope that I helped you answer some of these questions. And if there's anything you need help with tonight, just text me. Or if there's a question you just don't know how to answer, let me know. But I highly recommend getting a piece of white paper and literally just writing these down. Just write down these questions and write down your response, and it's going to help trigger your memory on the exam. I also want you to remember your endings for your verbs so that you can conjugate any verb that you're given, and it helps you remember how to answer questions. Also, just take a look at your verb. Just be familiar with those stem changing verbs that are listed here, but also in chapter 4, which are very important. And literally, if I were you, I would just start from the top of the study guide and work my way down. Review these interrogatives, then just review the endings, review this. Just literally start from the top and work your way down. Then I would check out just scanning through some of these vocabulary words, paying attention to those specifically those my goodness, my brain just froze. Those verbs. which are important. And then I would start answering the questions. But I believe in you and you got this, dude. Good luck. Buena suerte, Courtney.